matter, we must then show the allowance. So correspondent business debtor or instructing attorney business debtor. Your debt, what happens to his debt, Rafielwe? When I allow him a portion of the fees, what happens to his debt?
It decreases.
His debt decreases, and we know debtors are assets, and the asset is decreasing with 345 Rand. 20% of this. Fees, you're an income account. Because I'm sharing my fees with the instructing attorney in George, my income, my fees is decreasing. And VAT, you're a liability. The liability also decreases. And I will never forget to do my narration. Whenever I work in a journal, I must always make sure that I post it to the ledger. Correspondent instructing attorney, your debt decreases because I've allowed you a portion of this fees. Your debt decreases by 345 Rand. Income. My income account is decreasing because I've allowed the correspondent attorney in George a portion of this fees. And that you're a liability. The liability is decreasing with 45 Rand. Do you understand what we have explained? Is there anyone that is not clear? Do you understand? Is it clear? Is there anyone that is not clear? Can you still hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yavonia, do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do. Thank you.
Oh, Temba. Okay. Now someone wants to see the trust cash book. There's the trust cash book. Okay, I see somebody that is not understanding the allowance part. I'm going to give you rights to talk, and then you must explain to me what part are you not understanding. You're allowed to talk. Your comment says, I did not get the part of the allowances.
Thank you, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
So the part of allowances, I don't know where it comes in after which calculation. I've been seeing you like pasting it, but when I look back, I get lost on how did we come on allowances.
Okay, do you know what the allowance is?
On the questions, yes, it was, I saw the 20%.
Okay, now what does it mean? Explain to me, what does it mean?
The allowance part.
Yes, what does it mean?
I think the instructed attorney is entitled for that 20%.
No. The instructed attorney is charging the instructing attorney a fee. The instructed attorney then gives him a portion of the fee. Are you stuck on how did I get to 345 out of that?
The 345, isn't it that it's 20% of 1.5?
Yeah, no. 345 is 20% of 1725. I'm giving the correspondent attorney 20% allowance. I'm giving him this 345 Rand of my fees and the VAT.
Okay. No, now I get it. Thank you.
Okay. Tim, I spy with my eye. What do I see?
Money in trust, ma'am.
I see I hold money in trust. What else do I see?
And you hold money in business.
And a client owes me money in business. I see that I have a trust credit and a business debit. My mandate is complete. Somebody owes me money in business. Thank you, Benjamin. I need to pay myself. Step 1.
Transfer journal, ma'am.
Step 1 is a transfer journal. I transfer the money value of what is owed to me in business from trust. Let us calculate what is owed in business. This is what I charged. This is what I allowed. What is still owed to me in business is what I charged minus the 2% that I've allowed him. So in business, the business debtor, the correspondent instructing attorney, you owe me 4,364 rand. Do I have enough money in trust, Matthew?
More than enough, ma'am.
I can therefore transfer from trust to business. Namsha, step 1. I must transfer the money value from trust to business. What do I use to transfer the money value?
You're using the transfer journal?
I use a transfer journal. No, you must say it with much more confidence. I use a transfer journal because I'm jumping over the line. I use a transfer journal. Correspondent instructing attorney George, your trust credit will decrease because I'm going to transfer the money value of what is owed to me. Your trust liability will decrease with 4,364 rand. Trust liabilities, when they decrease on the debit side. Instructing attorney George, your business debt will decrease. When I do this transfer, you no longer owe me. Your debt will get less. It will decrease. Debtors are still assets. And assets, when they decrease, they always decrease on the credit side. Whenever I work in a journal, I will always do a narration. And then I will post it over to the ledger. Correspondent attorney, trust. Your trust liability decrease. I want to see in the exam the word transfer. I don't want to see the word fees because then it means that you are debiting fees in trust. I want to see the word transfer because we use a transfer journal. Correspondent attorney trust, your trust liability decreases. Trust liabilities, when they decrease, they always decrease on the debit side. Correspondent attorney George, your business debt is decreasing because I'm going to transfer the money value of what is owed to me from trust to business. Debtors are assets and assets always decrease on the credit side. Step 1, I must do the money value transfer step. Every time you're going to, any question you're going to do, you're going to get to the same point, except with bank recon. Anything else they give you in exam, you're going to spy with my eye. Am I done? Is the transfer complete?
You have to
No.
account to the client.
Refill with? Before I account to the client, what must I feel?
Oh, feel the money.
I must
Cash
do it.
step.
I must
Cash
do a
step.
cash step. Trust cash book. You must do an EFT in favor of the business cash book. Trust cash book, you're an asset. The asset is decreasing because it's paying the business cash book. Business cash book, you're an asset. The asset is increasing because it's receiving a payment from the trust cash book. And then Rafiel,
Then you account to client.
I must account to client. I must give the client the change. The work is now done. Correspondent attorney, I held 50,000 for you in trust. I transferred 4,364 rand. What I have left for you, I'm going to pay out of trust. This is the EFT due to you. I'm paying this out of the trust cash book. Your trust liability decrease. I will no longer hold this money for you. Trust cash book, you're an asset. You are paying the correspondent attorney, George, $45,636. The work is now complete. The question is complete. Every time you're going to get to a point where you see, I have a trust credit and a business debit. Step one, I do the money value transfer from the trust account to the business account. I use a trust journal. Transfer journal. And then I will post it to the ledger. Step two, I need to feel the money. I need to do a cash step. The trust cash book must do an EFT in favor of the business cash book. Okay, any questions? I've got one hand, you're allowed to talk.
Hi, Ronelle.
Hi.
Don't we have to do the final step and take out the money from the trust cash book, the one that the EFT due to the client?
We did.
Oh, we did.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
All right. Okay. Let's quickly do an accounting statement to the correspondent attorney. Do you remember how to do accounting statement? Okay. Correspondent attorney, I charged you fees, and that was 1,500. I allowed you 300 of it. I charged you VAT, that was 225, and I allowed you 45 rand. I paid the tracing agent, and that was 500. Then I charged you fees for a default judgment, and that was 1,200 rand, and I allowed you 240 rand. I charged VAT on it, and that was